Hello, ladies and gentlemen. KermMartian here, back with Train Simulator 2018. This is episode 6 of my Train Simulator 2017 series, and I think KermMartian Live number 28 or so. We are here on the London to Brighton route, the Brighton main line. We get full forward and AWS off and headlights. We are driving the CPRR high-speed train HST class 43 from London Victoria all the way to Brighton. We're going to be taking a fast service today, so just stopping at a few stations, Clapham Junction and Gatwick Airport, and I think that may be it. Guard has whistled. It is time for us to go, so let us release the brakes, put on some throttle, and get going. I hope you all are doing well this rainy pre-Christmas evening. It is Christmas Eve here in the real world. If you are on YouTube, it may no longer be that, but that's alright. I have some hot tea, some very festive cranberry autumn tea from Trader Joe's, so all is well. We have the highball leaving London Victoria platform 16. So let's get ourselves going. Hello Caleb, hello Andrew, hello TI Freak. Yes, that is some Chematech coloring indeed. This is a custom livery for the Class 43 that I put together as part of my tutorial on reskinning train simulator trains. I wanted to do so. I know that I'm not going to get a light, so I'm going to let my camera stay here. I wanted to put this together because it is CPRR livery as well as, of course, resembling the Chematech colors, and it's been far too long since I've run a scenario with the CPRR HST. So here it is leaving London Victoria. The HST has a power car at the front and the back, just like the Amtrak Acela and other similar high-speed trains. So we have a, in this case, diesel-powered power car at the front that we are driving in. AWS says okay, and another diesel powered power car without a driver in the back. We are idling our way, well, 20% throttle through a 20-mile-an-hour zone. We're about to be able to full throttle it. Let's full throttle it! Power! 100% is the way to go. Tea. I haven't checked out. Wait, no, that's not true. I have checked your channel out, Andrew. I did indeed get to check it out a couple of months ago, I believe. I am ready for Christmas as well. It's been so busy on my end that it doesn't feel as Christmassy as it might otherwise, that is, it has in other years, but I'll be glad of a little bit of a breather from my usual work schedule. Some of that is because everybody else is doing things, so they don't have time to schedule meetings and all that good stuff, which is nice. Therefore, I don't have to schedule meetings. Heading up towards 45 miles an hour. We do not want to do any speeding, so we won't. Even though power and speed are good things to have. It doesn't ring a bell, I'm afraid, Andrew. I need to mute my Hangouts, because that's going to show up on the recording. Sorry, people on YouTube who are wondering why things are going ding in your ears and looking at your own Hangouts. I was listening to a recording of my episode 5 yesterday in order to verify that I had put it together properly, outtakes and all. You should go back and look at my episode 5 video if you missed out on the several unexpected circumstances that occurred during that stream. And I was confused why I kept hearing Hangouts noises. It didn't look like I had any real-life Hangouts messages. So what are you all working on this evening? Ooh, this is quite the banked turn. This is screenshot time for sure. Screenshots. Screenshots for days. And we are speeding up, going down this hill, so I think a little bit of brakes are in order. That bell just means that the AWS is not going off, which is good. It means we are passing signals that are green and going under the speed limit. If it was a continuous sound, that would be problematic. A little bit more braking. I think we can release the brakes now, since we're just reaching the bottom of that hill. Oh, not quite. There we go. Now my impulse is to floor it, push the throttle into the firewall, and go right towards that 60, but unfortunately we have a 30 coming up instead, so brakes are the proper thing to do here. A little bit more brakes. Those are good brakes. The HST has perfectly serviceable brakes. Well, I'm sure they're serviceable in the sense of repairable, but quite effective as well. So we will take that into account with our stopping distance, unlike the Class 465 the other time, last time, that was giving me such difficulties. Oh, we need to be down for the 20. That's my bad. We're going to be speeding slightly here. 43, 22, 21, 20. Okay. Sorry about that, passengers. A little bit of speeding there. This is a standard rather than career scenario, so I don't get points off for speeding, but I think professionalism is still the name of the game. Let's say I probably would have gotten off about 25 to 30 points for that speeding just now. Now, we don't need to overhang the loco, even though it looks like we would. So let's get our whole train onto the platform and get ready to stop. Beautiful. Very nice. Professional stop. And we are early here to Clapham Junction. We were supposed to be here at 13:58:10. We got here at 13:56:30. So we'll have to wait a little bit, but that's alright. We can admire this beautiful train in the meantime. We can look at how maroon and gold and black it is. We can listen to it make many loud noises. You can stare at that CPRR logo on the side and the front, and also on the other side. If you remember from my tutorial, the HST in Train Simulator was somewhat unique in that it doesn't use the same image for the two sides of the train, which meant that I could put a logo on the side and not have it show up mirrored on the other side. With something like the Class 801, the left side is mirrored onto the right side, so you would have a backwards CPRR on one side of the train. We have carriage type A, which is, what is A? I forget what type it is. B, first class, I think. I think A is also first class. C, which is, I think, second class. D. E. Now it gets a little squiffy. We have, oh, sorry, F, no. Doesn't get quite squiffy yet. Now it gets squiffy. Now we have K, which is the kitchen and first class. Wait, maybe I have this wrong. And then L, yeah, there we go, which is first class. And then we have another power car. So those were all second class at the front. Nice long train for us to drive today, though. And we have the beautiful scenery of a sunny British day to enjoy. Based on the trees, I think it's a sunny summer's day, even. Look at those nice fluffy trees. I think they've done a little bit of upgrading on this route. I do think they may have. I wish I was working on Geopipe right now. I don't really. I enjoy trains, but I enjoy Geopipe as well. Just looking at these buildings and roads and trees and scenery, thinking about what Geopipe could do for those. Almost time for us to depart, which is nice indeed. I think we're set to depart in 10 seconds. So we're going to get back into our train. We're going to start reducing our brakes a little bit. Guard has whistled, and off we go. Next stop is Gatwick Airport, Platform 5. Sorry, just typing in Chematech's Sax chat, answering a question about why we format code boxes the way we do. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment indeed. Gotta stay under the 20 until we get into the 60. Going through this little cut and not so cover area here. 20 miles an hour. Let's lay off the throttle. Should be a pretty straightforward ride today. I don't expect things to go horribly wrong. We don't have a lot of traffic. In fact, I'm not sure we have any AI traffic at all. We don't have any adverse weather, and I don't expect any adverse services. And because I've driven the Brighton line a few more times than the Chatham main line, one would hope that I don't run into any unexpected speed limits and charging through stations, as may happen occasionally. Restreamio chat just said, ready and waiting for new messages, so I'm afraid I may have missed some messages from you guys. I apologize if that is the case. I apologize indeed. Restreamio's chat seems increasingly unreliable on my last stream. People texted me to tell me that it wasn't in fact working properly halfway through the stream. Heading up towards the 60, and then a 50, and then a 25 it looks like there. We must be changing tracks. So I'm gonna throttle down. Yeah, I'm gonna throttle down because we're gonna have to get down to not 50 but 25 near that marker. Let's see if we have any signals that give us indication about this. Thank you, AWS. Thank you, thank you. That was a green. I'm expecting we're going to get a little feathered "you are switching tracks" indicator at some point. Where are we passing through right now? There's my pause key. This is Wandsworth Common. I'm going to lay off those brakes again. We don't really have to start stopping quite yet. In fact, I can get a little bit more speed on, just for a bit. Then it's time to brake. For the 25. Oh, did my internet go out for a short while? Is that what happened there? Quite confused. Hopefully you guys will speak up if anything is amiss. Almost down for the 25 already. So that works out well. And there we go. Very nice. I hear bells chiming. They're in the game. I hear a backup signal that is not in the game. Here we go. Crossing over onto the fast lines as anticipated. Hello, British Church. I hear you. Aha! That's not good. I am going to blame either Spectrum, aka Time Warner, or Restreamio for that. I'm not sure who's responsible. One of the two. I'm inclined to blame Spectrum just because general Spectrum terribleness. And of course, you know what we need to do now. We need to go into full throttle, which means we can have some power, so we can have some speed. We have a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit right here, and off we go. Next stop is still Gatwick Airport. We now have 22 miles to go till we get there. Nope, that was certainly on my end because I see that my IRC client momentarily bumped. i.e. disconnected and reconnected. Oh, this is definitely a screenshot opportunity again. Gotta love those super elevated screenshots. Yes. 50 miles an hour. Still at full power. Just eating up those miles to Gatwick. So what's new? What's new in the world of trains and people who like them? I'm inclined to think that the answer is not a whole lot. That is what I believe. Oh, that's not true. That's not true at all. I know what happened in the last week since I last streamed. There was the Cascades crash on Monday in Washington. That was something that happened. All the usual terrible political circus about how we should be investing in infrastructure from the same people who currently are doing their best to avoid us investing in any infrastructure. All the usual sensationalist journalism about something in which 3 people died, which is regrettable, of course. My thoughts and prayers to the families of those 3 people who passed away. That should not have happened. However, there is also the point that cars kill hundreds of people every day in fatal accidents and are therefore hundreds and hundreds of times less safe than trains. So unfortunately, the accidents that involve trains are a little bit more memorable. Cars, you have fatal accidents every single day. As in fact, I know TI Freak has unfortunately had to first-hand experience in several cases, in many cases I believe. So condolences to the people who were injured and or died, and I hope we don't have a repetition of that accident, and I hope it spurs people to invest a little bit more in US rail infrastructure, including positive train control, which maybe could have prevented that. I'm still anticipating what the final report is going to be for what exactly happened. So I will reserve judgment until that. I shall indeed. Rumbling right along under that 70-mile-an-hour limit, doing my best to maintain our speed. We have a 60 coming up in a mile and a half. Now 19 miles to Gatwick Airport. So again, this is just a pretty straightforward ride along the fast line. Not much to worry about. A little Doppler effect on that church bell if you caught that. I think a little bit more speed is in order. We have lots of watery and icy Pokemon in Pokemon Go Gen 3 icy and watery Pokemon. I've been luring the stop that is within reach of my domicile so I can get 6 hours of a Pokemon every 5 minutes. So excuse me if I momentarily start speeding just like that. No Pokemon and trains, they don't mix. Do not mix at all. Whoop. AWS, thank you for reminding me about that speed limit. That is just the you acknowledged AWS beep, which is very helpful. Heading down for that 60. A little bit more braking, I think. 63, a little bit more. 62, perfect. 61, and we're good. We are good, and we have a 45 coming up, followed by a 60. There we go, beautiful. B-E-A-beautiful. I didn't realize the difference between Spheal and Wailmer or the Wailmer evolution chain in Pokemon Go, so I was frantically collecting Sphero. Do I have that right? Spheal, excuse me. Candy, thinking that I was going to need 400 of those. Alas, wrong Pokemon. 45 coming up. Yep. Thank you, train noises. A little bit more brakes. Gotta get down for a 45. There we go. That'll do. That'll do. All is well. Yes, your horn works. Very good. Well done. A+ horn testing. You guys are quiet today. I wonder what you're up to. It's a quiet sort of weekend, though. Got all my Christmas shopping done, more or less, unless I spot anything that I need to, get at the last minute. Hope you all have finished your holiday shopping as well. I may have asked for a number of model train related things on my wish list. I don't know how many of them I'm going to end up with, but I will certainly probably get the remainder as presents for myself at some point for my several model train projects. Nearly time for us to head back up to the 60. There we go. Let's go. Nice acceleration. Let's ride from outside here for a bit and keep our eyes on the AWS indicator and on the signals, of course. Time to throttle down. We're just about at 60. Although we do have a 90 coming up. So hooray for us. We have a branching off to the left there. I'm not sure where that goes, but somewhere interesting, no doubt. Is that a whistle board? Couldn't have been. That was probably the 90 marker. Alright, full power. Get up towards that 90. We can't really hear a horn from here. Or here. But we can from here. I don't think they have the drop-off right on that. That doesn't seem right. I do find this to be a pretty train, I have to say. I really like these colors. And the shape. Hooray. Almost 80 miles an hour. Now we're really letting rip. Can I get a trackside view? Seems like the answer is a no. Oh yeah. Beautiful. All right. Almost up at 90, so gotta keep an eye out for that. Oh, I think since the last stream I may have watched the, I wanted to say Top Gear, Grand Tour, in which they were in New York going towards Niagara Falls. Not sure though. Unfortunately, although they were doing a race, they did it between a plane plus bus plus another bus, rather than versus car, rather than having a train in there somewhere. I would have loved it. They would have taken the Adirondack or another train up to Niagara Falls as one of their transportation options. But alas and alack. Another 12.5 miles to Gatwick Airport, going along nicely. Rolling along with not a care in the world at 90 miles an hour. That is what we like. Quite the narrow little, I don't think embankment is the correct word, but whatever this is here. Nice little bridge there. I do look forward to when I can ride some of these routes in real life, as I believe I often express. Look, the slow lines have rejoined us over there on our left. I do wish this scenario had a little bit more AI traffic, but that's alright. That is alright. One day I'll learn how to put that together myself. And the slow lines are crossing under us, as they do on the Brighton main line. We've gotten down to 87 miles an hour. Let's put a little bit more speed on. We're going up a pretty steep 1 in 150 hill here. Back up to 3. Hello, people. Hello, whoever just joined me. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you with me. I apologize if I'm missing what you're saying, because Restreamio's chat or something is being weird. I'm not sure if that's the case, though. Feel free to say hello. If the issue is in fact just that you are not saying anything rather than the chat is messed up. This is a squeaky chair. Oh, we're speeding. I vastly missed that. This is what happens when I look down at my phone momentarily. Distracted driving never pays. We're now going down a 1 in 270 hill. Nice little town off to our left there. There we go, now our speed is well under control. So we need more of it, obviously. I was a little bit late for that. Not sure why there's a little crossing there. There really shouldn't be. It doesn't seem very safe. Hello, John Bush. Good to have you with me this evening. We are driving the HST CPRR along the Brighton main line, heading towards Gatwick Airport, heading south right now. Just enjoying the scenery on a pretty express run, a pretty straightforward one, in which I've done some minor speeding that I would like to avoid. We have an 80 coming up, followed by a 90, so let's start watching out for that. Better hop back into the cab for this tunnel. Ish. Tunnel-ish. And down for the 80, very nice. Now just 5.5 miles to go till Gatwick. AWS says, all remains well. What fun things are you up to this, as I was saying at the beginning, rainy evening, John Bush? Depending on what it's like where you are. Ooh, got bouncy all of a sudden. Full power, for sure. A little abandoned station here, I wonder what that is. Platform anyway, not station. .85 miles an hour, still accelerating, and we have a little bit of a hill coming up here. So I think slightly less power is the way to go. Shocking, I know. Never thought I'd utter those words. What a lazy sort of day. It's felt weird all week. It's felt like it's Friday, pretty much Tuesday through Friday. An odd week indeed. A little bit more power, I should say. Now 3 1/3 miles till Gatwick Airport, so let's keep that in mind. Another little station off to our right on the slow lines, but we are of course speeding straight through on the fast lines. It's been a while since I did a purely stopping service. There was one that I wanted to do on the ECML that I don't think I ever created a video or stream from, so that might have to be on my near future agenda for my Train Simulator 2018 videos. It may indeed. Do I hear another train? Not sure what that sound is. What is that? Must just be factory sounds. Weird. Weird indeed. Let me not get distracted from the task at hand, driving a train. There's Gatwick, just hove into view in 1 2/3 miles. So let's start braking. We want to enter the platform at no more than 30 and stop in time for the end of the platform. So We should be good. We should be more than good. Let's see if we spot any airplanes coming up. This is not Gatwick, or we would be in big trouble. What station is this, though? It is Horley, of course. We are down to 50 miles an hour, so I'm going to lay off the brakes and give us a little bit more throttle. We don't have to quite slow down yet. However, we are massively early for Gatwick Airport. We're going to have to hang out at Gatwick for a little bit. Cool. Glad you're still working on Flow CE. I'm looking forward to what you get done on it tonight. Grocery shopping is good. Was that Christmas-based grocery shopping or just general need more edible things in the house sorts of grocery shopping? Here's Gatwick Airport. While we're waiting our 5 minutes, I'll have to once again, as always, show you the British Rail logo on the roof of the station concourse there. Alright, let's get down to our 30, as I said, 33, 32, 31, beautiful. And let's see if we can do this by eye instead of by HUD. Hello, airplane. Oh yeah, that looked pretty tremendous. Oh, that is picture perfect. That might even be screenshot worthy. That might indeed. I think that's a screenshot right there. I think it is. I think we need another one that gets more of our train in. Excellent. Excellent indeed. Hear another airplane somewhere. Where is it? Hear it. There it is. Hello, airplane. You will keep us entertained for 4 minutes. Trying to see what airline you're from, but you keep flying like an airplane. Ah, come back. No, don't go away. Fine, what airline are you from? Plane Airways. I love Plane Airways. That's my favorite airline. Oh man, what a great airline. Plane Airways. As promised, giant British Rail logo. There it is. Marvel at its size. It is such a huge logo. Very good. Another airplane. I wonder if this one's from Plane Airways as well. I bet it is. I suspect the Plane Airways is very busy around these parts. What else? What else? Our train is still sitting here. Let's see if we go into the passenger view what things look like. There we go. Very passenger-y. Unfortunately, it seems like I can only sit in this one seat here. It's too bad. It's a nice seat, to be honest. Although I wish we weren't facing backwards. I far prefer to be facing forwards while I ride. How about you guys? Ah, glad to hear that your Christmas shopping has been completed. Christmas grocery shopping. Shortly before you, I think it was shortly before you came, I was reviewing what I got done today and saying that all my Christmas shopping for presents, more or less, is done. I still have a few trailing items of business that I need to finish up, but mostly it's done. Mostly it is done indeed. So many loud engines around. If they're not diesel engines, they're jet engines. Well, that's a screenshot, obviously. Duh. I really need to put together the trailer for my channel. I took lots and lots of CPRR footage, that is the Class 801 based prototype of my private train car. I'm not sure I did a lot of videoing with the CPRR HST. In fact, I think I did none because I think my trailer recording snippets were before I made this particular reskin. So I might have to go back and do that and then actually put together the trailer. But there's so much to do in life, I keep not finding time for that. I have some grading to do this evening as well, which is always fun and exciting, as well as various startup-related coding tasks. I have a whole day set aside for myself next week to catch up on email, both personal email and startup email. I'm hoping I'll be able to make a serious dent in my unresponded to correspondence. We shall see. We shall see how that goes. We've got another 2 minutes until we depart. Ha! Good call there, John Bush. Good call. Facing forward is not great if the sun is in your eyes. Well, so I tend to alternate. I tend to try to face forward almost all the time, unless it's packed, in which case I take a backwards facing seat. And I try to alternate which side of the train I sit on. Especially when I'm taking a round trip, I try to sit on the same relative side of the train each time, so I am on opposite geographic sides. So, you know, the west side, i.e. the right of the train going north, and the east side, i.e. the right of the train going south, depending on... Wait, do I have that right? No, that's not right. Let's try that again. The east side, the right side of the train going north, and the right side, the west side of the train going south. Yes, that's good. If I'm going, for example, to Connecticut or to Vermont from slightly southward in the northeast, but then if I'm going up a subsequent time, I like to switch it up. So, for example, if I'm always traveling one way in the morning and the other way in the evening, do the opposite the next time. So I'm going up on the other side in the morning and down the other side in the evening. So I get a look at everything in every time of day. I like to get that variety. It's always tricky, especially I find on very long distance routes, to schedule a lot of things to get done, because I find myself just kind of increasingly looking out the window and pondering life. I haven't had, I think I've mentioned a few times on my channel, opportunity, reason, whatever, to spend a lot of time on the Vermonter lately. I very much miss that ride for many reasons, including the ride itself. It was an extremely pleasant and relaxing ride. It was nice getting to know some of the conductors and staff. It was just a nice 8 hours to enjoy beautiful scenery and ride a train. But it is time for us to go, so brakes off, throttle on, take a look at our brake pressure. Where is it? There it is. We should be going. Unless these gauges are not working properly. Which is possible. Which is always possible in Train Simulator. Thanks. I find it to be so. There are very few lines that I've ridden where I found one of the sides of the train to be... one of the sides of the right-of-way, that is, to be markedly worse. One of the few exceptions I might make is the anything that goes along the Hudson River from New York to up to about Albany or so, which is where it then switches up to the west side of the Hudson. It goes up the east side from New York to Albany and then goes on the west side. I find the west side of the train up to there, where you're basically mostly looking at cliffs rather than at the river and vistas beyond the river, to be quite subpar to those, compared to those river views. But for the most part, that's not the case. So I'm thinking of the Vermonter, for example. There are beautiful Connecticut river views going from Springfield up towards, going from Springfield up towards, like, where does it end? Maybe practically up to Brattleboro. There are beautiful views out the right side, and then it sort of switches to the left side, being a little bit more picturesque. You do generally get a balance between the two, I find. Hello, radar dish. You're pretty cool. Spinning around and stuff. Pretty cool indeed. Oof. Sorry, I just put our faces through something. .67 miles an hour, going up to a 90 limit. And you may have noticed that our next and last stop is Brighton Platform 5, so this has been a very express service indeed. London Victoria, Clapham Junction, Gatwick Airport, and Brighton. We theoretically have just about 20 minutes to get to Brighton. I suspect that we're doing well enough, even without speeding, that we're going to get there well before 14:50, 2:50 p.m. for those of us unused to military time. I was thinking about having our friend and colleague Geekboy1011 along for the ride today, kind of co-narrating with me. Getting a little bit of a lag here. What's that about? Stay with me, Train Simulator. What are you loading in so enthusiastically? Unfortunately, Mr. Geekboy was unable to join us. Hopefully another time. He joined me for one video back in September? Yeah, I think it was the last weekend in September. Oop, we're speeding. I saw that. He joined me for a video when he was staying over at my apartment during Maker Faire, and added to my live commentary. I hope I can get him back for that in the future. Oh, excuse my yawn. I got plenty of sleep. It's just, well, I say plenty of sleep. I never really get plenty of sleep. There's too much to do. I got sufficient sleep. But it's just one of those days, you know, when it's a damp, rainy, cool day and it's just a good day to be inside, drink tea, and snuggle, basically. Wrap yourself up in a blanket and read or watch TV shows. Today is definitely one of those sorts of days. Especially with the holiday coming up, it feels like our brains should already be on vacation. Getting down for the 80 zone here. Hopefully we'll do it in time. I think we'll be good. Yeah, we're fine. Just gonna feather ourselves right under that 81. There we go. Beautiful. I was talking about the Cascades accident earlier, John. Weighing the, of course, tragic nature of the incident with the relative, you know, it could have been a lot worse given how crowded the train was, and also the relative safety of trains compared to things like car travel, which I suspect, based on some of our previous discussions, you agree with me on, that trains are a much safer way to travel, but because of the way things like train accidents are generally covered, they make much more of an emotional impact on us as a serious incident. We tend not to hear, I mean, if we were bombarded with that level of coverage for each of the like 50 or 100 fatal automobile accidents per day, then that would be extremely depressing and probably intimidating. But we do not, which is probably for the best, but a little misleading. I feel like I'm veering into bah humbug territory. Those kids on my lawn with their news coverage and their Twitters. Speaking of which, I still don't have a clear signal from you guys about whether you prefer that I post on Twitter when I'm going to stream, or if that is just a bit of spam that my usual Twitter followers who don't necessarily overlap with my Train Simulator followers don't need to see. Let me know if you have any feedback there, either in the comments or on Twitter, or right now. Ah, listen to those birds. How nice. Train Simulator really hates giving me trackside views. Really does. Those birds are quite pleasant. I don't understand what's up with the distance to hear the horn here. That's not a bad idea, TI Freak. Is that what you do for your streams? Do you have a separate account where you notify people of your upcoming streams and stuff? Oh, here we go. My favorite viaduct. There's definitely a screenshot opportunity. Definitely, definitely. Always time for screenshots on a viaduct. Let's see what I can put together here. There must be something I can do here. Yes, yes, we hear you, loud people outside. We hear you, bros. Yep, yep. A plus being loud. There we go. I'm satisfied with that. Let's go. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I have a lot of people from both real life and the space of startups and entrepreneurship and academia that follow my regular Twitter account. So, although I post a fair bit of my real life train photos there by virtue of them being on my Instagram and my Instagram being linked to my Twitter, I've held back on posting too much about my YouTube gaming videos on my personal channel, my personal Twitter account. I like that idea though. That might not be a bad idea. I didn't even think of that. Thank you. We have another, what does that say, 13.5 miles to Brighton, platform 5. Still rolling along nicely. You've seen almost no other trains. It's unfortunate, as I said, that this scenario, does not have a lot of AI trains, but there we go. That is the state of affairs. We need a little bit more speed than that. Please stand well away from the platform edge, ladies and gentlemen. The following service is not stopping. Tunnel time. Tunnel banter. Just about up at that 90. Let's keep an eye on that. Speaking of tunnel banter, I should see what's up with Moleman978 lately. I feel like I mentioned him in practically every video, which I don't know how that happens. Especially since I haven't actually been watching his videos lately. I know he got a new computer, but I'm not, and I saw that he had some Halloween specials, but I don't actually know what happened since then. I should see. Take a look. I believe a lot of YouTubers who YouTube trains have switched primarily to streaming instead of recording videos by themselves and then posting them up. I believe that is the case. I don't know if Twitch or what is the popular medium there. I seem to be having a slight trouble breaking into the world of having many Twitch followers checking out my trains, but it's not like I really tried too hard either. I'm not sure what the proper marketing or spreading the news method is there. I saw a whistle board there. I know that's not the appropriate horn pattern to use here, but I'm going to use it anyway. I will use it anyway. Psh, not a boring person. You're a very interesting person. I was going to say I wouldn't enjoy being your friend as much if you weren't as interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because I think we would be friends regardless, but I do certainly find you interesting, sir. You are far too humble. Another branch heading off to the left there. Heading off to the east, I should say. Sorry to hear that, sir. Is that on Twitch that you've been streaming those streams? Or are you doing YouTube, or are you restreaming it so you can do both? Also 9 miles to Brighton. Yeah, I hear that. That is frustrating. I definitely hear that. I reassure myself that, you know, if there are days when I have fewer rather than more people joining, that it's, you know, something fun, something I enjoy doing. I really do enjoy playing with my virtual trains, and I certainly have spent many an hour playing them all by myself, so it's just an added bonus to be able to have people joining in and keeping me company along the way. But if they don't, then I can still enjoy it for myself, and I can still post them up later, and people can eventually go and check out the videos. So I try to just be kind of zen about it. But, you know, it's also nice to see a lot of people joining for the video, for the streams themselves. It's a nice little boost. It's also nice guidance too. When I'm by myself, I'm just picking what I feel like doing. When I have feedback, I often find interesting things to do that I wouldn't have necessarily thought of myself. People have made suggestions for what I should play in my streams that I wouldn't, as I said, have necessarily come up with on my own. We are passing through Essex, which means we're getting quite close to Brighton indeed. Off to the beach as we are. 6.9 miles to go. Mixer. I know we've talked about Mixer in the past. I assume it's like Restreamio, and that allows you to redirect your stream to multiple services. Although now that I'm saying that, I'm doubting myself. Am I correct about that? I think more speed is in order. This horn doesn't echo as well in this tunnel as I would hope. Oh, hello, trees. That's always fun. I stuck myself into put my head out the window mode, and I think I put my head right through the tunnel wall. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Nice to note there's still trees over us even though we're in a tunnel. Ah, okay. I was right to doubt myself on that then. Thank you for explaining, sir. Much obliged. Back under that 90-mile-an-hour speed limit again. I wouldn't have a perfect score on this if I was playing at 4 points. I've done a little too much speeding. But it's a relaxed sort of stream, so I won't chastise myself too much. I do like the professionalism, however. See if we can get down for that 75 in time. I think we are well within the margins too, though. Yeah, well within. A little bit more braking. There we go. That'll do it. And there's the 75. Very good. A mere 3.5 miles now to Brighton. Hooray. I'm trying to remember where Mr. Bean went in. Mr. Bean at the seaside. I thought it was Brighton, but it might have been somewhere like Dover. I'm gonna have to double check that. I'm suddenly craving watching Mr. Bean. I could do a lot worse things with my time than watching Mr. Bean. 40-mile-an-hour limit has just appeared on the HUD, so let's remember to watch out for that. That is in 1.5 miles, i.e. 1 mile out of Brighton. The Brighton platforms, I should say. We're inching back up towards that 75, but soon it's going to be time to slam on the brakes again. Probably when we get to the signal in 1/3 of a mile. I just thought I'd try to get us up to precisely the 75 before we drop back down. There we go. Nice windy tracks between these lush and verdant trees. This is quite a relaxing and nicely rural portion of the route. All right, I said we should brake. We should brake. Let's do some notable braking. I know. I see the speed limit. Thank you. This is Preston Park here. AWS is happy with us once again, which is good. That is good. That means we're all set to keep on keeping on. Release our brakes because we're almost down for the 40. We're now starting to enter the intestinal tangle of tracks leading up to Brighton. You can see at the end of Brighton platform 5 is on the HUD now in just about 1 mile. So this has been quite the smooth little ride. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm glad we were able to take CPRR 1 out for a spin. It's been far too long since I've done a scenario with CPRR 1. There's going to be plenty of time at the end of this route to talk before it officially ends. I think it ends at like 14:51 or 14:52 or so. So I won't start saying my goodbyes just yet. That would be premature indeed. How are you doing on the catching of the Gen 3 Ice and Water Pokemon, TI Freak? What's your Pokedex looking like? Getting down to this 25 here. We have a yellow, that's all good. 25. We are cleared into platform 5. Go us. And we have this 25 all the way to the end of the platform, so we can just glide our way right in like this. They're the... Ooh, I like this switch. I like this 3-way switch. That's really cool and really mechanically complicated. There are the sweeping curves of the roof of the Brighton station. Let's think about slowing down a bit. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe not quite that much though. Alright, yeah. There's some buffers coming up. We don't want to run into the buffers. That would be a poor ending to an otherwise smooth ride. Aha. Lovely. Very nice. Doors open. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brighton Platform 5. Well, just to Brighton. You probably don't care that you're at Platform 5. This is the end of today's journey. Please make sure you have all of your belongings and disembark from the train. So let's put ourselves into neutral. Alright, I don't know what you're on about. Put on some more brakes. Full service our brakes. And see if we can find the switch to shut this off. All the way up. Can we go into off? We can't actually go into off. Oh well. We'll just stay in neutral. I think there's an engine stop button here somewhere. There it is. Of course we can't press it. Nor can we press the engine start. That is not true, however, on Train Sim World. We most certainly can press the train start and stop button and turn it on and turn it off. No current destination. Well, well, well. Ladies and gentlemen, well done. You have completed the scenario successfully. We took the CPRR HST all the way from London Victoria Station to Brighton. Everything went pretty smoothly along the way. We did a little bit of speeding, but we didn't really do anything else, and it wasn't terrible speeding. I hope you enjoyed that rather quiet and relaxing journey. As always, I appreciate you joining me for this stream and for this video. I'll be, of course, busy with holiday things the next couple of days, and then I'll see what my schedule will be like in the coming week as far as more videos and streams. But as always, I am very eager to hear your suggestions for what you would like me to stream on YouTube in the comments to this video, on Twitter, on Twitch, wherever you prefer. I am KermMartian, all one word, at all of those particular media. I also need to post up that Minecraft video, so hopefully you'll see that soon. I'll have to trim it down a little bit, but not too much, of the Minecraft mansion raid that TI Freak put together for Halloween. It was a really awesome scenario challenge thing that he put together, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. I think we're past the statute of limitations as far as other players playing it, so not wanting to give away the secrets. And other than that, as always, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And if I don't speak to you sooner, I wish you a very happy Christmas, or a Merry Christmas, depending on what country you're in. And happy holidays if you celebrate other holidays. Take care, guys.